Dwayne, how's it going? Jason, welcome back. We're all here. I'm good. I'm ready. You know I trade everything. I'll trade some big board. Shoot. Glad to have you back. We'll let a couple people trickle in and then we got to get after it. Welcome. How do I say it? Hugar? Because I'm going to be addressing. Oh. Forgot one of our guys. Sending me an invite real quick. Oh. We got 7. And then we're going to get started. 30 seconds. And we got to go. 7 works for me. All right. Very unfortunate reverse split happened. On one of the classics. 10. I'd say that's go time. Let's go. All right, welcome aboard. Welcome to a new month where we are going to find the hottest heat. You know, I looked back on last month and looked back at all those runners that we picked early for making those watch lists. And truth be told, I'll say it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it right now. If, which I did, you followed the strategies we put forth here on the tickers that you liked, and didn't chase scanner alerts, you would have done quite well. Because the best traders out there are not chasing scanners all day. If they find an intraday runner, sure. So let's do it. Let's set it up. And what I'm hoping I'll find is some filings to look at, because we need to look at filings. But FinViz is one of the hottest out there. And so we're going to find them. We're going to break them down. And then we're going to look at them. We're going to look at the catalyst, and we're going to make some plans. If you have any questions along the way about anything, please holla. And I'll be sure to ignore them. No, in all seriousness, shoot me a note and we'll do it. Let's go. You know I like any exchange. I'll trade anywhere. Market cap, they split it up by market cap. Remember, market cap is not a measurement of company quality. It's a measurement of outstanding shares by price per share. We'll start Nano. Target price, what's your target life? Target price is a big mistake in trading. You can look at supports and resistances and have an idea of where it might get stuck, and we'll talk about that. Average volume, I don't care what the average volume is. Relative volume, I don't know, but the current volume on a nano, let's say over 500,000 at least. Fundamentals. A lot of the fundamentals, especially if you're looking at nano caps, suck. Their profits suck. Their debt levels are horrifying. Everything sucks. But, you know, here we are. We're into January. All I want to know is if it's up on the week. That's it. That's still a little bit broad, right? So what about the price? Say under 5 for nano caps. Now we're boiling it down. Still a little bit all over the place. That's a lot of tickers. No, that's why. There we go. So let's look at the charts briefly and then dig deep into the tickers, okay? Let's go. ADXS is down 8% on the day. If I'm looking at this ticker, it made a huge move. Just to my eye, as you can see it, it looked like a gap fill attempt that failed. A gap down for some reason and it failed. It did not break that resistance. It did not break through the gap. I can see right there, for me, it would need a 40 touch for me to consider it. Alka is one that has bounces, but it looks like it's kind of losing energy to my eye. There are day trades within it, but I'm looking for something on a trend. Any tough one. APRI to my eye, it's going down, and you can see that candle there right at the end. You know, it's kind of gotten rejected, so I won't look at that for continuation. ASNS, nice move, nice bounce. Will it continue tomorrow? Let's find out. AUMN, wow. Anyone hearing AUMN in their chats? I'll look at that. AVGR is a classic bag. And from time to time, I hear people being like, AVGR breaking out. I don't have time for that. Just right there, right? Like my time on Earth is limited. I don't like that. Boxlight was one that made a huge move and made a bounce today. They had a big offering, I believe. I'll pass. Biopharmex, huge downward trend and a bounce on what the market agreed was a bottom. I'll show you why, but I don't like that. China Ceramics, it was China Day the other day. I'll look at that for sure. Again, you got what I like to call a shit bounce here. I'm not keen on that. CLDX again. We've seen candles like this before on its slide downward. Just looking at it, what if this is the bottom? What if it is? What if I bought this and fell ill? CLSD, get out of here. It's making a bounce, but on low volume, as you can see, pass. DPW, again, another bad chart. It's up on the week, but we're going to pass. Ears has been a runner. It might be curling up. I'll look at it, but I probably don't like it. Crushed and bounce. Not interested. You know, to my eye, and we'll look at the catalyst, this could be just a low volume dip situation because I'm not seeing a huge amount of dilutive volume. I'll look at it. Glow, that's a bag. Oh, you see what happens? GTXI, probably a bag. Hominy, confirmed bag. But it's made a little move. I'll look at it. I don't like it, though. HSGX, notice to delist. They're coming down to the OTC. I might look at it then. Bounce on a bag. Gapping candle there. I'll look at that. Comstock Mining, multiple reverse split offender with a bounce. I might look at it. MNGA, continuous turd with a bounce. It will always be bad, and we looked at the balance sheet and confirmed it's bad. And we're going to look at some balance sheets tonight. Mosey, probably garbage. It's been garbage. And SPR, bad. NVCN, they had a limited share price requirement notification that they are below the share price. So I'm going to pass. OGen's made some moves. That might just be lining up for another one I'll look at. I'll tell you why. OG. Nice. Nice. Woof. What the hell happened here? We'll find out. And we'll see if it's powerful. Pran on some fluff news. That hurts. Bag. PRPO. All right, look at it. Real good solar. That's ugly. And it's getting uglier. Nice bounce. Sure. I probably don't like that. I don't like that. You know what? You know, the way you set up a scanner, and if you don't know me, if you never met me, here's how you do it. You ready? And if you've been in this course last month, this is January edition. If you've been in this course last month, the only way you set up a scanner is by highs. Many people, they only scan by volume. There's a lot of volume out there, and most of it is debt holders dumping. The only thing I care about is what is moving. If it's not moving, it doesn't matter how much volume it has. Moving on. Now look at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at that. That is one nasty ticker, but we'll look at it. Let's run through these first. TRVN. When I vet tickers, you know I only do it on OTCmarkets.com. Not because I'm obsessed with the OTC, because they have every ticker and they have it out in the most simple way possible. TRVN gap down hard. Share structure, nasty. Disclosures, they had an 8K on the 21st. What's it say? Notice of delisting. They're coming down to the OTC. Can I see a chart today? Again, like I said, I mean, this thing got crushed and people went for a gap fill. Show me a 65 break and I'll look at it, but I'm not seeing a catalyst here I care for. Pass. TTNP. This one is interesting. Let's look at it. And let's look at it on a real chart. The rule of an indicator, whether it be MACD or my own custom KST, is that on MACD, which y'all have, y'all know it, action below the histogram, this being the histogram, is not action. Full stop. Action below the 0 line on my KST is not action. On the 30-minute chart, it's a different story, though. We're struggling with resistances. And remember, resistances, what are resistances? Anyone who's been with me for a bit, what creates a resistance? Please tell me the word, and I'll move on. How are resistances created? Resistances are where bag holders live. That's the only thing that creates a resistance, bag holders. Otherwise, there'd be no resistance, right? If there was no volume prior to this moment, what would resist you? Evil spirits? Sellers. And the sellers exist at 24. That's the last time people caught bags. 23 to 24. The next set of sellers live at 25. The next set of sellers all the way up at 28. When something gets crushed like that, bouncing is not just a free opportunity to jump back up. You got resistance all day long. Baggies are waiting to get out flat. TTMP's got baggies to deal with. Is there potentially a cross? Yes. Am I interested in waiting a month for a move from 23 to 36? No. I got a life to live. Pass. VLRX. This is a nasty situation where this got crushed. Let's see what happened. We'll find out. A lot of volume there off the bottom. And may I say, more volume than any bags have been created for a long time. Except for here, which wasn't that long ago. You know how long baggies hold that. 40 break, I'll consider it. But, you know, again, baggy home invader, he just entered your home. Just broke right in. Put the gun to your head. If you had to bet on this ticker long term, what do you bet? I know the future. Live or die. Pass. Okay. Woo! I was like, what's that? Oh! Let's look at it. It got crushed for some reason. We'll find out. And fair play. They've been trying to fill this gap for quite some time. And, you know, the chart tells you a story, right? After it got massacred here, people thought, oh, that's a good question, Jason. I'll talk about that because it's a fair question. It's fair ball. You know, I don't love questions, but I think that's a great question. And you can see after it got crushed, right, a few days later, they're like, oh, well, we'll bring it back up. A couple days later, bring it back up. No. A couple days later, oh, we'll bring it back up. A month later, bring it back up. Finally, the people that were trying to bring it back up gave up. And now a whole new breed of traders is trying to bring it back up. Ugly. KST and MACD, let's talk about it quickly. Single point, hell of a call by Vegas. Something that I was also quite keen on. I know single point, and just like you know, right? Like you trade in different markets, you do different things, right? And you begin to remember tickers. Just like if you're focused on NASDAQ only, you begin to remember tickers. You know NVCN is a piece of shit. A2 is garbage. Manga, bullshit. You begin to remember what the garbage is. Just like for me, I'm largely focused on OTC by choice because there's a whole new world of flavor on the OTC that's waiting for you. And I know Sing is garbage. This is trash. So my plan for Sing is affected. So we'd be like, well, how long do you want to hold it? When in doubt, scroll out. Based on this chart, how long do you want to hold this? That is a lot of volume, I'll give it that. But how long would you hold this? An hour? Half a day? Because every time it pops, like there were a couple days here, a week or so, pop, loser, pop, loser, popped, loser, popped, loser, popped, loser, popped, loser, popped, loser. So based on the trend, just like with this, right? After it pops, it's a loser. So then I begin to scale down my time frames to a level that will allow me to decide. I've decided this is a loser. Now I need to make a decision how I want to trade it. Once I've decided it's a loser that I want to hold for the day, or I want to flip for the day, then I move into a 5-minute time frame with KST loaded up. I entered Sing 0.0192. And I unloaded it to 228, a little early. Not bad though. And then I watched it for the rest of the day and waited and waited and waited and waited. And I saw it finally cross the zero line. Look at MACD and look at KST with regard to the histogram and the zero line. Let's just be 100% sure I'm not tooting my own horn overly. There's the zero line cross. Ugh. There it is straight up. So, God bless. The zero line or the MACD histogram, and if you ever read a trading book, there. You ever read a trading book, a professional trader's book? The thing is, when the MACD enters the histogram, or when my sweet, precious baby KSD makes a cross above that zero line on the 5 minute, it is go time. Here was another one. I called it, and it didn't really work out that well. But I brought it in kind of 39, and it provided upside to, 41. And it worked hard. It worked so hard, but then you got that recross on the back down, and it never really got any better. So it is what it is. That other zero line cross popped it. But that was just choppy, and it was low volume, and it never really panned out. But if you're in a high volume situation, I mean, name me a runner on the NASDAQ today, on the big board today. What was the big runner? What was the one? We'll hammer it out. I'll find it right here. I don't need it. Ticker. BTAI. Lord. ASNS. Look at this BTAI. What is this? Woof. BTAI made that cross early because there's a lot of pre-market trading. But I would argue BTAI, I mean, the market opens at 9:30. Even if you got in right at 9:30, you still had a trade from, 472 to, even if you slapped the ask, you had a trade from 472 to 580 almost. And it continued on, and you were probably staring at it and saying to yourself, what's happening? But you got that cross there, right there, and you knew it was done. You got a cross above zero here. It's not moving. Is it dipping? Is it done? No, it never really fell below zero again. And then after your zero cross buy, you had another shot at 470 to 543. But you can see when this KST starts getting some air behind it, above zero, any action that happens below zero sucks. Let's look at something that sucks. What's this? Doesn't matter. We'll move that on the 30. We'll look at it. So again, I mean, it's kind of popped up, but it's below the zero line. It's just a shit pop. Like there's no power here. And because KST and MACD are very volume dependent. HSGX, that's a good one. There it is. HSGX was a real runner today. It ran and ran and ran and crossed. You got opportunity right off the bat to buy here. You got a pure sell right there, early. you need to go pretty much at the high. And then, oh, it's going down, it's going down. Boom, right here, another cross. Any cross above 0 is a winner. And see, the thing is, you're saying, well, it went up between then and then. Well, I'll talk about that, Jason. But between there and there, between your sell and your buy, you're looking at what? Not even a cent. You got that cross, you had another big move, boom. And then you got that cross down, you got another sell. 25, so you did 20 to 25, you got another sell. And it never came back. There was no situation in which, on the 5-minute chart, you should have ever bought HSGX again. The KST provided you the meat. You bought here on news, you sold here on cross. You waited for recross with no upside. So you just covered your ass. You got an above 0 line cross, which provided you another 20 to 25 trade. Then you got that downward cross and it never came back to life. Never did. A lot of people told me about my KST. Hindsight's 2020, Pat. Now they're all adopting it. It is the best with the given settings. Hit me up. You got TOS, you got E-Trade, you have Trading View. Oh, it is, Hassan, and I'm going to give you a special link. The custom TOS script for KST even has audible cross alerts. And a custom scan. I do, you know, there's a lot more to this program. Anyways, Jason had a good question though. Well, do you have more? Throw it over. It's free for anyone who's part of this. For us Canadians, well, it depends. Are you using iHub? Are you using the Trading View? Because you know I'm Canadian, and I'm using this right here. Anyways, the question was, are you using it on the 1 minute? You ever been in a situation where you're looking at level 2? If you have iHub, then you just plug my custom links right here into the chart. There they are. You just go here, you select No Sure Thing, KST, and then you plug in my custom links. Here's what they give you for default, and then there's my custom links. The question is, should you ever trade on a 1 minute chart? No. Don't do it. And it's going to be counterintuitive to everything you hear, everything you know. People say, "Oh, I trade on a 1 minute chart." They shouldn't. Trading on a 1 minute chart. Is the equivalent. You know what I'm going to do, Jason? Trading on a 1 minute chart is the equivalent at staring at the level 2 in the time and sales and be like, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Going down, going up, going down, going up, down, up, down, up. It's too myopic. And it can trip you out. You know, and so if you look at HSGX on the 1, you know, you gotta sell here or buy there, sell here or buy there, sell here, buy there, sell here, buy there, sell here, buy there. I mean, just in commissions alone, you're going to get massacred. Where on the 5, if you're day trading it, you got 2 clear sells. Well, we'll talk about it. You got a clear sell and a clear buy and a clear sell. And you never got anything again. You bought it right at the start of the day, whatever. You would have had a shot 12 to 19. You would have sat on your ass, done nothing, till 20 to 25. You would have burnt it, and you would have watched it go down, and then you would have never looked back. So that's what you got to use for everything. 1 minute, garbage. There it is. Sell, buy, sell, done. That was your trade plan. Now, if you were in it, you're going to go, well, you know, how would you have known it would have crossed? I wouldn't have. But here we have, for the first time all day, a cross here, you know, with some serious air behind it. That's a real break from the trend. It never did it before. It's done. I'm going to sell that 19. Above, and you can see above zero line crosses, even though the signal line was generally down, are massively powerful. Below zero line crosses, garbage. There's no power, there's no price action. It's not crossing the line. What the looks like it was trading big pre-market, gapped way up, and was basically viable for 1 hour, not even a full hour. It crossed down, and it never ever got better. There was a cross above the zero line, but barely. Low volume shit. There was one trade on it, if you didn't trade it pre-market, and it lasted 50 minutes. 5-0, and no one ever gave a shit again. And let me tell you this. Can I say something? In your life, in your trading career, in whatever, if you want to trade pre-market, you want to do all that, that's fine. But if you don't intend to trade pre-market and you intend to hold after pre-market, here's my advice to you. Take it to your heart. Get out a pen. Can I have a pen? Here's a Sharpie. Get out a pen and write it on your face. I will not hold pre-market news. Pre-market news is the ultimate scam. Someone who's not been with me for a bit, Hassan, Hugar, why does news come out pre-market? Dwayne, Jason, don't say shit. Raymond, JRS, I see you. Why did they release it? That's not an answer. No. To dilute. Right? It's like you know when you drive a car and you want to get a good launch? So you preload it a bit with the brake on. And then put the gas in and then dump the brake and floor it. Your car is not that fast, but you can get a nice start on it. That's the equivalent of pre-market news. They intend to dump on you. They intend to dilute shares. Debt holders, whoever has an intent to sell into this news. Most news, because if you had a successful ticker, what are you doing with that ticker? You're diluting. You're diluting. And when you release news pre-market, you get people with a new paycheck. You get new traders. This is some big news here. And you know what? They're going to start slapping the ass right out the gate. Pow, pow, pow. And what am I going to do? I'm a debtor that Ketov has given shares to in lieu of money, in lieu of cash. They get that news out. Guess who's first on the ask? Me. You got to slap me. That's why the rule is pre-market news. If you are not in already, you wait 1 hour. Hate it or love it. Because this would have sucked, right? It opened, and then it dipped, and then it shot up, and you would have, I hate waiting 1 hour. 1 hour later, this thing was cooked, and it never came back. Pre-market news, if you haven't traded at pre-market, you wait 1 hour. And if there's no continuation, you walk away. Pre-market news is the ultimate scam. Pre-market news is the equivalent of a Nigerian prince emailing you and offering you gold bricks if you give him your social insurance number. Don't do it. Just don't do it. 1 hour. That's the rule. If at 1 hour this is not killed, which this was, and you see a recross, knock yourself out. Next. Does that clear all the questions up before we move on? Good. VTL, gap fill attempt. Vital therapies. Share structure not terrible. News. They announced their third quarter results. Why did it get crushed? Is there something about VTL that crushed it? And is there power in VTL moving forward? I don't care. I don't care. Honestly, show me a 32 break, and I will believe that VTL is reversing its fortune. Hey, Pat, but I want to get in before the 32 break. Knock yourself out. Even 20 to 32 is not that big of a trade. I don't have time for it. I'm very busy. So busy. Yuma. Loser, loser, loser. Bye. Any is one that just, any to me, look, I've been saying any for a bit, and I said it 3. No, I didn't even say it at 3. I said it up here. It's time. And it made a move, and it got killed again. Not overly, though, and it held up. Truth be told, this cross that has come is below the 0 line. This is a microscopic amount of the power it used to have, if I'm looking at the daily. But, you know, I like to treat MACD and KST like gravity. I like to think of the charts and the indicator, this indicator, and MACD. It's not just KST, right? This isn't me creating a brand new trading method. Like gravity or roller coaster, right? Cross happened. You had time to get out on that wick, and you put a ball on it. Whoosh! Put a ball on that shit. Whoosh! But now all of a sudden, any. Whoosh. It's coming. And he wants more. Any. You see it? And we all make the mistake of, excuse me. We all make the mistake, just like we talked about, Jason, on the 1-minute chart, of living in the moment. It's going down. It's going down. Up. Down. Nope. It's down. It's down. This isn't going down. It's any bounce time. Where the baggies at? They are up high. Big time high. The real resistance is 4. Well, let's take a look. The real resistance is 4. And then the next resistance is basically, where do the baggies live? 5 to 7. And he has an SC13D amended. SC13D is an ownership filing. The way you treat SC13D, you open it and you say when. And on December 21st, whatever we will find here is the ownership. MF Ventures took 281,000 shares of any. The McFarlane family took 281,000 shares. And on December 20th, they filed a Form 144 disclosing its intent to sell up to 60,000 shares. And since then, they've sold 5,700 shares as of the 21st. So it's a drop in the bucket, really. Right? I mean, the family, the McFarlane family, has 280,000 shares to sell, and they've sold 5,000 as of the 21st. Have they sold the rest? I don't know. But at a trading rate of 536,000 per day, I'm looking at these filings, and there is nothing other than Form 4s, which is insider buying, and then an 8K on the 6th explaining a senior vice president left. There is nothing about any other than a family that feels the need to disclose 200,000 shares, holding it back from a dilution perspective. Does that answer your question, Hassan? Nice. It's coming. You see that bounce there right off the support. Next. ASNS. Arsanis. Arsanis has made a bounce, and it attempted an above zero cross and got rejected. And now it's moving lower. It failed. It made a good move today. We needed the 338 break. It did not achieve it. Next would be a 415 resistance. If I'm to pick it up here, it made a little breakout there. It failed. I'll pick it up at 2. I'll pick it up sub 3. 293. You can see it right here. And whether you're playing 30-minute, whatever, like, so this would be, you know, maybe a day, over the course of a day trade decision. That 3, it broke it, which is tight, so it might sell back down to it, but it did not break the 338. My hope is that I will get a bounce here, maybe for more, or maybe not. So for me, I would pick it up at 3, and I would look to, if I was playing with heavy size, I would go 297 to 338 again. If not, I might see if it breaks the 338. Then next, you kind of got that 380 level where I would sell. So I'd pick up 297 to 380, sell if it breaks this. Stop loss. Stop loss would be here, 276. You can see how I just hammered it out on the chart, right? Like it's very clear. You know, we did not break through those baggies. And the market has agreed historically this is a place to pick it up. So I'll pick it up there. 297 is where everyone's going to pick it up. So what do? I got to beat them to the punch. 307 fill ASNS. It would be my goal. Because they're all going to bid 297. And I need to get in. I need to be creative. 307 fill. Stop loss 274. We already know the catalyst on ASNS. AUMN, this is new on me. Anyone know it? AUMN. You know, AUMN has been failing 1 top, 2 top, 3 top, triple topped it since September. What is going on here? Triple topped it. I'm going to pass. It can't break that level. If it does, maybe. BPMX is a very troublesome one. This sucks, right? Like this is a bounce where people thought there was a bounce and there isn't a bounce. This is a turd. Next. CCCL. People have been talking about CCCL. Believe it or not, I know nothing about it. Oh, China. Okay. There's like days that happen. China Day. Right? And then everything related to China runs. And so on and so forth. Thing about day runners is they're a day trade. And if we look at this on the daily, you'd say, oh, well, you know, maybe it's moving. But I can see this reversal candle here. This is a classic reversal candle. We talk about candles all the time. Candle? This moment here. Where the market's not sure what to do, but enough people have decided they're not bullish on it anymore. Reversing candle. And we could see here it actually closed lower. So CCCL, pass for me. If you want to play China Day, we could make a China tickers list. Just like there's mining day, whatever day. And then I use these different time frames. So the 30-minute would show me what's happening with CCCL. Looks like it was a pump, and now everyone's holding a bag like, y'all going up. Chart tells a story. Bag. Ears. Ears been a bag. You know, I don't know if a lot of people told you about Cloud. You heard about these people? Cloud. You paying attention to Cloud? And you know, OTC versus NASDAQ, it's a different sort of game. because the OTC goes from 0 volume to 100 back to 0. 0 to 100 real quick. NASDAQ always has volume. And you need volume to fuel indicators. And while ears looks to be a bag after it's run in October, here I am saying, is this a bag? Yes. But then as I zoom in further, right, the time frame's like a microscope. I see that since Christmas Eve, we've got a MACD, if you like MACD, or a KST, where both the signal line and the short line, the KST itself, have crossed the 0. And we're flirting with the top of the cloud. We all know what ears is all about. It's been around forever. With that being said, I'll take ears. Anywhere $46 to $48. Happy to. Okay. You know, and if you want to just do some simple charting, if you're a simpleton like me, you might just go like that. And it might just help you make a stop loss of 46. Good. Ears on the list. Yep. I'll look at it. I probably won't like it. Again, this is why we use a microscope. Why am I, someone just chime in. Why am I struggling with this? Just say whatever comes to your head, please. If you're still awake, my God. Anything that comes to mind. That's one. That's one. That's too long of a question. Right. Basically, it comes down to volume. You're all too slick for me. You boiled down my whole thing. I've got resistances to break here. I got to break 42. I got to break 58. I got to break 72. I got to break $1. And the volume's the juice. And I'm not seeing any. If I saw this, I would say, you know what, that now there is enough interest in people slapping the piss out of this to maybe break through these things. That ain't enough. That, for all we know, this was just someone tickling the ass with $28. I need volume to break resistances, and I do not have it. Bye-bye. Garbage. Sometimes garbage is fine. Sometimes you find your grandmother's fancy earrings in the trash, and here I'm only seeing eggshells and coffee grounds. Trash. Pass. IZ has been a runner. I would argue that it is no longer. Can I see it? This again. You wanna pump it up? You better give me a big shot of volume. And you know what I mean? We got a lot of resistance to break through, and we got no volume. This is a shit bounce. Pass. Comstock mining is one of the biggest pumps and dumps of all time. Load is one of the worst tickers, the worst offenders when it comes to reverse split dumpatitis. When was the last one? Been a bit, huh? I thought they've had some since. Even so, you can see the dilution here. A ton of volume, doesn't even move it. And it's finally bottomed out and ticked up. You got bags, 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 heavy bags all the way up. You want me to look at Comstock mining? Truth be told, give me a 30 break, and I'll believe it's making a step change. Otherwise, forget it. Mosey, an old meme. You trade Mosey? Probably not. No, again, you want to use charts practically. You want to think practically. You want to actually be real about charts. You got a below zero line cross, which is cool, whatever. You got a bottom bouncer here. It's already petering out. If I was to believe, there'd be a big stiffy right here. Instead, I've got candles thinning out at the top. Pass. This is a pump that moved nice. And it made a good move not long ago. Not great. If you really, in the scheme of things, is 72 to 88 a great move? And now we're kind of here flirting with the cloud, and we've got below zero line cross here. I just don't see a lot of upside here. Truth be told, I don't see a lot of upside. Unless there was just a shitload of volume here. You know, OGen, pass. OG. You know I'm an OG. Huh. Interesting. I would say that this candle here is a bit of a reversal candle. I'm not sure if it's time to pick up OG. Let's take a look at a closer time frame. OG made a move on the 28th, I remember it. 76 to $1, not bad. Or 76 to a dime. Chilled out again. Moved again. The rate of decay, 11 to 10, 1 cent. Let's make a ratio to decide entry. 10 was the bottom, over 11. Now, 13's the top. We only use bodies. 13's the top. I'll take 12. That was actually a pretty easy ratio. That's the rate of decay on OG bounces. I don't want to just take 12 because everyone's looking for 12. So I'll take 1, 2, 2, 1. And see if I get a bounce off of it. Stop loss. $116. Do you see how I did it? I mean, you can use the mathematical ratio formula, which is actually quite nice, especially for tickers that have steady vol. What the shit? Can anyone see my screen? Hold up. Yeah, hold on. Well, I don't know what the hell happened. Let me get rid of it. That better? Huh. There it is. So when I use the ratio, well, then that's what this is ultimately about. This course is me. When I use the ratio, I can see the rate of decay, 10 over 11, 12 over 13, 11.8. That's where I want to take it. But just to my eye, that makes a lot of sense. You want to get crazy? You want to make a target price? We could do that, I guess. If 11 is to 13, 13 is to 15. I screwed it up. So if I picked it up here, my next target price would be what? 15. Bing, 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 bing. I'm trading it on the 30. So that might actually provide me a nice trade idea. Okay. Ratio is tough to use when you're trading OTC. Because the volume like comes, you just got a ton of volume and then poof, gone. When you have steady volume, ratio makes a lot of sense. But you can eye it up too. OG, give me... OG, give me 12. Give me 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and I'll sell 15. That's my plan. I made a plan. Stop loss 11.7 because it's falling through the pattern. We're relying on the pattern. Did any of y'all trade this OHRP? Today? Did anyone trade that? Oh boy. Anyone trade it for real? JRS, what are we looking here? What are we looking at here? To your eye. Raymond, anyone, just spit it out. And then I'll break it down. Shit on me. There it is. Oh, better get your glass. Get some glasses this big. We got ourselves a reverse merger, baby. And what is the most powerful catalyst on any stock market at any time? That is reverse merger. Ding, ding, ding. 777 on this bitch. Reverse merger is the most powerful catalyst on any stock market. Better than FDA approval, better than Apple partnership, better than Google contract. Because a reverse merger is the sign that this old thing, this nasty old thing, is done. And something hot and new has arrived. Let's read the document to ensure. Excuse me, I'm very excited. To ensure we're able to identify mergers moving forward. Reverse mergers. Reverse merger is where a company comes in and says, listen, you got this ticker, you don't care about that. You got this ticker, you're not performing. Fuck. Can anyone else hear? All right. That's on you, pal. And a new company, a successful company that has the means, the money, the accountants, all that, to take that ticker that you don't care for, snap it up. And that's what we have. How do we know? Entry into a material definitive agreement in an 8K means one of two things. One of three things, my apologies. Number one, reverse merger. Number two, they handed someone a bunch of shares in lieu of debt, convertible notes. Number three, they handed someone a bunch of shares for an employment contract or something of that nature. Maybe it's the CEO's secret family he gave a bunch of shares to. Not so secret anymore. But the juice is that new base or pharmaceutical is the original company. New base is the new one. We know this because it's here. Or pharmaceuticals. That's what it is. OHRP. New base is the new company. Merger sub will merge with and into new base, with new base becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of the company. Which you're saying, well, did they buy New Base? No, because they are the surviving corporation of the merger. New Base security holders are expected to own approximately 80%. Immediately following the effective time, the name of the company will be changed from Or Pharmaceutical to New Base Therapeutics. This is a reverse merger. Uh-oh. And this just sounds so great. And you're saying, this is my future. But anytime a reverse merger is happening, reverse merger candidates, they don't want to pay for the sins of the father, if you will. And the sins of the father are many. The share structure stinks. I don't see it as being that bad, but I'm also coming from the OTC. This is a reverse merger. But when I see a reverse merger, I look at prior filings and I write the word split. I control F it. Let's read about this reverse split to see if any the new company, in accordance, the company had a period of 180 calendar days to regain compliance with minimum closing price bid requirement. The company did not regain compliance, and they plan to seek approval for a reverse stock split in order to meet the minimum. And that's the thing. Remember this. You go through your life and you see these different tickers. NVCN, I think, is one currently. And they'll go, there's a minimum bid price requirement. And then some pumper asshole will pop up and go, well, they got to make it back to a certain price. You know how you do it? Boop. Just do a reverse split and you're automatically back at the price you need to be at. So never fall for minimum bid price requirement bullshit. Moving on, they plan to seek a reverse split. According to the second notice, if at any time before February 19th, the bid price closes at or above for 10 consecutive business days, NASDAQ will provide that written notification the company has achieved compliance with the minimum closing bid price requirement. The company has filed a definitive proxy statement in connection with a special meeting of stockholders to be held on January 18th, 2019, where they will vote to approve the reverse split. So here's the trade. Between now and January 19th, which is a good amount of time, there's a pending reverse merger. And there's a pump in it. There is a thought in my head that people will start trying to reach out and grab that $1 price and see if maybe the reverse split doesn't have to happen because of the pending reverse merger. Reverse merger is some powerful shit. If the stockholders do not approve the reverse split, or if we're unable to maintain compliance, we'll be delisted. Between now and the 19th, I have a feeling that it's going to try. I don't like trading in the face of a reverse split, but I'll tell you right now, when this shit come out. This 10K came out at 10:36, so that's what, an hour into the close, into the open. And it was booming, and it didn't really continue. 10:36. That's where they saw the reverse split. It should have got massacred, and it didn't. There was no sell-off. Tomorrow, a reverse merger is a reverse merger is a reverse merger. Tomorrow, I'll be loading up the KST on the 5. And if it doesn't gap to the moon first thing in the morning, if it gaps to the moon first thing in the morning, then I'll wait an hour and look for re-entry. If it doesn't, then I will wait until I get above zero line entry on the 5 minute. Sometimes, especially at this price, and this $1 price listing, and they have until January 19th to pump it up, there's a chance, and I'm willing to take it at this price, given all that's going on. Where will I enter? Truth be told, I would look for a cloud break, which is essentially the equivalent of a zero-line break KST or a breakthrough MACD histogram. I would look for a cloud break on the 5-minute. If I saw 18 break, and hold, I'm going to give it a rip. 18 break. I'm going to go after OHRP regardless of the reverse split. That is a true reverse merger filing. And we were able to identify the split by doing Control F. But that's as good as it gets. The 19th, between the 19th and now, we got how many trading days? 1, 6, 11. Might just be enough hype there. I think there's a trade in it. 18 break, it's go time. Got baggies here. I'll take 18. Thank you. Oh yeah, Hassan. I mean, when you're dealing with a pending reverse split, when you're dealing with something like that, and that company could just step in at any point and say, "Yeah, we're doing a reverse split." Helicopter doctor, been a while, pal. That split, if that company just pops up and you know what I mean, I'm not holding this shit for a day. This isn't Microsoft, right? This is a turd that had a reverse merger with another company that's moderately successful. 18 break, I'll try it. 18 break, and I'll set my stop loss 16.5. 16.5 falls through. I guess the power of the pending reverse split was too much, but this is some flavor here. So I'll look at it. I gotta go. I hope this was helpful. We didn't get through all of them, but we found some pretty interesting stuff today, and we looked at some good filings, and we actually found out some important things. Can I go? I'll jump on the voice for a bit if anyone has any questions, and then I'm gonna do my own thing. Thank you, and we'll see you Tuesday. Change the game for yourself. Get off that scanner, man. Get off that scanner. And if you're gonna scan, you better scan for highs, not volume. Volume is shit. Highs? See ya.